Defamation imposes liability for speech that damages a plaintiff's reputation. Imposing liability for speech implicates constitutional rights. In certain situations, the First Amendment requires that a defamation plaintiff prove a heightened standard of fault than otherwise would be required. If the plaintiff is a public official or figure, the First Amendment requires the plaintiff to prove that the defendant published the defamatory statement with actual malice. In other words, knowing that the statement was false or was made with reckless disregard for the truth. But if the plaintiff is a private figure, the heightened standard for fault doesn't apply. The plaintiff doesn't have to prove actual malice. In Time v. Firestone, the plaintiff's success in her defamation action against the famed magazine depends on whether she's considered a public figure. Russell Firestone, heir to the Firestone tire fortune, and his wife, Mary Alice Firestone, separated. Mary Alice sought alimony in the federal courts. Russell counterclaimed for divorce. He claimed a divorce was warranted based on Mary Alice's extreme cruelty and adultery. After a prolonged trial, the court entered its judgment. According to the judgment, witnesses testified that both Russell and Mary Alice had extramarital relationships, but the court discounted much of the testimony as unreliable. Ultimately, the court granted a divorce to Russell, but the judgment left the grounds for the divorce ambiguous. Time reported that Russell obtained a divorce on account of Mary Alice's extreme cruelty and adultery. Mary Alice protested that Time had inaccurately reported that her adultery was grounds for the divorce and demanded a retraction. Time refused. Mary Alice sued Time for libel. The trial court found in her favor and awarded damages. The Florida Appellate and Supreme Court both affirmed. Time claimed the judgment contravened the First Amendment and petitioned the Supreme Court for cert. Time argued Mary Alice was a public figure who had to prove actual malice.